March 14th, 1:16 a.m. Question mark. To make sure the defendant is found guilty, what other choice do I have? It's the job of a prosecutor, after all. Oh, we're Edgeworth speaking, okay. Oh wait, are we? That may be true, but why? I thought it was Edgeworth, it's not Edgeworth. Why go this far? Sorry, but maybe I wasn't clear enough. But a guilty verdict is all that matters to me. No matter what the cost. Oh, it's him. I don't like this character or his design. I just think it's kind of lame. Like, what is that haircut? I'm a prodigy among prosecutors. Always have been, always will be. He's probably my least favourite, like, first case villain. He's kinda lame. Oh, look at HD. GBs. It's hard to believe that I've been away from my office for a whole month. I hope Detective Gumshoe has been keeping an eye on my office. Blood? Blood? Is it blood? What the? What's the meaning of this? Freeze. That's creepy. I don't like that. Identify yourself. Shut up. You've got some nerve committing murder in a prosecutor's office. Is that a threat? Let me make one thing very clear. What? No one gets away with committing murder in my office. No one. I'm surprised he didn't just kill Edgeworth. My name is Miles Edgeworth, and I work as a prosecutor in my local district. Little did I know that upon my return home after a month abroad, I would be thrusted into a multitude of cases and some very frantic and busy days. I need to remember my Edgeworth voice and get it back on track. I've finished photographing the victim's body, sir. Very well. Please continue your investigation. Yes, sir. Ah! Oh, it's... Mr. Edgeworth, sir, are you okay, sir? Keep it down, detective. This is a crime scene. When I heard that the murder didn't take place in your office, I ran up here straight away. This is Dick Gumshoe. He's a detective with the local precinct, and the one they assigned to handle this murder case for the time being. You're looking a little pale, sir. Are you hurt? No, I'm perfectly fine. However, someone's dead. Ah, look what they did to your office. It's totally trashed. I'll say. The culprit studied my floor with dirt rather well. No one gets away with tracking mud into my office. Whoa! Sounds like you're getting really burned up over the whole thing. This crime was committed in my office, so it is my responsibility to solve it. Huh. That's just like you, Mr. Edgeworth. Okay, time to do some investigating. Agreed. Our first course of action is to gather irrelevant facts and leads. We must not overlook anything, no matter how small, if we are to find the truth. So I'll keep any leads or information we find etched in the forefront of my mind. Speaking of things that pique my curiosity, why of all places did the murder occur in my office? Is it because I'm the main character of this game? I get the nagging feeling that this is something important to keep in mind. Yeah, I was wondering about that myself, sir. I mean, you can't really say it's just a coincidence, can you? What do you mean, sir? If you think about it carefully and use logic, it should become clear to you. Logic? By finding the connection between two pieces of information and connecting them, new information is born. That is the end result of using logic. So, how do you use that? First, I recall the information. First, I record the information we've gathered with L1, then I connect them together with Triangle. Have you got a PS4 controller or something, sir? No, actually, it's PS5. Now to use L1 and record the facts. Oh, I have to actually do it. I'm sitting there like, huh? Yeah, those two, I guess. Don't have any other options. I got a trophy! They're just giving these away. For security reasons, all prosecution doors are outfitted with locks. Which reminds, why am I putting words in that aren't even there? Which means it would have been hard for the murderer and the victim to get in here. Ergo, it's impossible to dismiss the location of this crime as a mere coincidence. Yes, that's exactly what I was thinking, sir. There must be a reason why someone infiltrated my room. What was the killer after? You're really on the ball today, Mr. Edgeworth. That's some beautiful logic, sir. Yes, well, when you follow leads to their conclusion, only the truth remains. However, if the information doesn't line up properly, I may stray far from the truth as well. If you think carefully before piecing these together, the logic should flow. Well, let's get started with our investigation, shall we? Yes, sir! Okay, let's begin. The basis of any good information is to examine everything, sir. I know that. And when I want to examine something, I'll just simply use X when I'm next to it. Oh, and if you ever feel lost and want to talk, just use Triangle, okay? I'll give you great, precise advice as an ace investigator, sir. Something to try later if I have free time, I suppose. Don't have to be so mean to poor Gummy. What have we here? Could this perhaps be a murder weapon? Why would they leave it on the floor? If so, it would mean that the killer made their escape after disposing of their gun. I think I've seen one of these before. It's a gun. Care to enlighten me as to where? Oh, I know! I was issued the exact same model. I think... detective. I don't really like guns all that much. I mean, they're really dangerous. Now that I think about it, you see this model around the precinct a lot, sir. I don't use mine much except in emergencies, so that's why I didn't recognise it. So it's the same type of revolver as the ones used by this precinct detectives. Oh, he runs quite fast, doesn't he? Whee! His running animation. It's so cute. Hoping to solve this case quickly, I'd like to return to relaxing on this sofa. I wasn't trying to look at the sofa. The thing looks like it's a billion times softer than my mattress at home. Can I sit on it too, just for a little while, sir? Said to Gumshoe, you know I can't allow that. Until this case is solved, neither of us have time to spare, let alone rest. You're right, sir. I've got to work real hard and be a real trooper to the end. Even once this case is over, I don't think he can afford to take any time off. So just got to move along. Please, I need absolute silence. Fingerprint lifting is a delicate art. Well, I never. You never what? Learned your manners? Oh. Ouch, they even knocked over your chess set. And it all looked ready for you when you got back. I figured we could play a few games. No idea you're interested in chess. I'm actually pretty good at checkers, so I thought I'd give chess a try. In that case, I suppose I could set some time aside after I solve this case. Though I don't expect the game to tax my mental acuity much. That's... He's so mean. Finished photographing the body, so it should be alright to examine this area. I won't rest until I've inspected every suspicious nook and cranny. What do we have here? Hey, I think I've seen one of these before. It's a police detective. Oh, hey, I have the same thing actually. What a coincidence. Coincidence. Let's take a look inside. It's the Buddy Faith. It appeared that our victim was a detective, just like you. Could have been you, Gumshoe. I seem to have... Why have I put a strange voice on for Edgeworth? I seem to have gathered a few pieces of pertinent information. Now to calmly use logic and figure out if any of them are connected to each other. Okay. How do you do that again? L1. Detective. Done. Connect. The revolver. Standard model used by detectives. Could it have belonged to our recently departed? Detective Gumshoe, could you please thoroughly check the victim's body one more time? Yes, sir. On it now, sir. Excuse me, pal. Let's see. What have we got here? It's Edgeworth, sir. This guy's wearing a gun holster. So it appears that our killer somehow managed to take the victim's gun from him. Are you okay? What the? Are you going to be okay with keeping track of the evidence we find, sir? Of course. This is the safest way I know how to keep track of it all. Alright, if you say so. Alright, if you say so. I said it like I'm an old man. Log any and all evidence I find in my organizer. When I want to re-examine a piece, I have but to press R1 to open my organizer. But the organizer isn't only for evidence, I keep people's profiles on hand in it too. It's probably a good idea to make a habit of checking the facts often. Let's see what else we can find out about this revolver. As I always say, you've got to look really carefully at each piece of evidence. Use R to the right stick to rotate an object. There's no such thing as a bad angle. Use L1 and R1 to zoom in and what? Oh, zoom in and out to get at the nitty gritty. Nitty gritty. Always look at how many bullets are in there. It looks like only one round was fired from this. Wow, so the killer killed the victim just one shot after wresting the gun from him. Sounds like the guy knew how to handle a gun, huh? Mr. Edgeworth. We have no proof for now, but that is a distinct possibility. Okay. Let's give the body a once over. Blood all over his lower abdominal. I think I'm saying it. Abdominal area. It looks like the bullet passed clean through his stomach area, sir. In other words, he was shot. Yep, until the autopsy's done, I don't think we'll know much more than that. Please have the body sent to the morgue once they're done processing the crime scene. The victim's badge probably fell out of his pocket during the struggle. Well, I always take extra care to make sure mine doesn't fall out of my pocket, sir. Oh? I always have it down at the bottom of one of my super deep pockets without fail. Is it possible that he has never taken his tattered coat to the cleaners? Your file's all over the floor, sir. It probably fell down during the struggle between the victim and his killer. Oh, I've tried so hard to keep this place spotless while you were away. I mean, this just rendered all the time and effort I put into pointless. I don't ever recall asking you to clean my room. Well, I watered the flowers every day just like you requested, sir. I just added some cleaning to the list as a weekend special. About half a day every Saturday, I'd come in and clean this place until it sparkled. Does he have a life? Does he have life? I guess this is all we're going to find out. We should send the body out to autopsy. Jim! Oh, it's this guy. What voice should I do for him? I don't like him. I think he's boring, so he needs an interesting voice to make me actually enjoy this. Trying to think. His name's not Jim, his name's Buddy. trying to think. Why, oh why? How could this have happened to a guy like you? Are you alright? Don't touch me! Leave me alone! Just let me be! Sorry, but I can't do that. You're in the way. The investigation is still ongoing, so please refrain from touching the body. The body? The body? Don't talk about him like he's just some lump of flesh! Look at him! Jim looks like he's just turned in for the night. Sure. Just in a bloodstained suit, pal. Where are my manners? Aren't you that prosecutor? I don't like the voice I'm doing for him. Well, I guess I am. Ugh, no, what? Why, yes, I am. I'm Jack Sportsman, prosecutor. Jim here was my partner in crime, busting. I'm Miles Edgeworth, and like you, I'm also a prosecutor. Detective Dick comes you, sir. So you're Miles Edgeworth. I guess it's used your office. Yes, that is correct. I can't think of a voice for him. He's given me nothing. He's given me no substance. Then it was you. You're the one who killed Jim. Hey, don't go jumping to conclusions, pal. Just calm down, okay? I will not. I know how things work around here. Our prosecutor's office doors all have locks built into them. I can't quite pick his voice. Only the owner of the office has the key, or and only the owner of the office has the key to his office door. I need some tips. Do I have his profile? 29. That's the only information I get. Look at him, he's just smug. That's the only thing I can think to do. Let's see. Don't want to take too long. And only the owner of the office has the key to his or her own office door. That is correct. However, I was not the one who killed your partner. Yeah, Mr. Edgeworth has been overseas on a business trip this whole time, pal. And the key to his office was with me the entire time, okay? So the only one who could get in here was me. Wait, that means... I'm not sure what that means. So it was you then? You're Jim's killer. No way, pal, you got it all wrong. Everyone, calm down. Mr. Portsman, correct? If you're a real prosecutor, you should know to stay collected. The investigation has only just begun. Isn't it too early to be drawing conclusions? Alright, I get the point. You're right, my mistake. I tend to get a little too hot-headed sometimes. You sure are one cool customer though, Mr. Edgeworth. Yeah, I think maybe I'll settle for that kind of voice. I've heard all the rumors about you. You're the great genius prosecutor. You're something of a legend, you know. Anyway, let's call a truce and work together, okay? Now, how about a handshake to seal the deal? Oh yeah, seal the deal. A pleasure to work with you. He's like, don't touch me. You guys were conducting your investigation, right? Sorry for barging in like that. Carry on then, it's your room after all. Thank you, I intend to. I just want a little more time to say goodbye to Jim. You there. Sir. Oh, they're besties. I want you to capture this scene on film for me. The final farewell to partner Jim. Oh yeah, partner Jim. I'm so sorry. I should probably give them some space. How's this for space? Mr. Portsman, a word if I may. Jim, I swear I'll find your killer and bring them to justice. You wait and see, it'll be for the both of us. Now then, You wanted to talk to me about something? No, that's alright. I feel like I'm interrupting their conversation. What else am I supposed to do? Oh, I can look over here now. Your jacket, sir! What's it doing on the floor? It must have fallen off when the killer tried to threaten me by firing a round. So the killer not only shot the victim, but they shot your jacket as well? They dared to shoot the ultra-special jacket that you made your prosecutor debut in. What if they shot through it? It would have been a disaster. It's not worth getting worked up over, Detective, not when there's not something more here. Huh? Like what? I take it you haven't noticed it yet, Detective. There is a giant contradiction right here in front of us. Really? Did I say contradiction? He must be rubbing off on me. Starting to sound like him. But I have my own methods, and I will conduct this investigation my way. When the scene before me contradicts a piece of evidence or seems off, that's when my deductive skills come into play. First, I have to find a spot that holds the contradiction. The bullet hole. This is it. This bullet hole is where the contradiction lies. When I spot something that's off, I should point my cursor at it and press triangle with conviction. Triangle with conviction! And then I have found sufficient proof to prove the contradiction, I present it. This is how I do things. Eureka! Eureka! This bullet hole is the contradiction. What do you mean, sir? It's elementary. 2 shots were fired in this room. The first felled the victim, and the second felled his frame. Hey, that's right! However, this gun was only fired once. Hey, that's true too. Which means that one of these 2 bullets was fired from a different gun. The killer had another gun prepared for tonight. By the way, I noticed something, sir. Yes? What's that thing sticking out from behind the frame? Ah, it's a secret safe. A secret safe? Oh, I smell money. I'll spare us the trouble and just say it. Nothing like what you're imagining. Oh my god. Nothing like what you're imagining is inside. Now, if you could kindly move this frame out of the way. Roger that. Talk about Dusty. I suppose that's what's happened when I'm not here to dust once in a while. I had no idea that safe was here, or I'd kept it clean for you, sir. So, when did you put this thing in? It wasn't something I installed personally. Every prosecutor's office has one. Really? I had no idea. Well, only the prosecutors are supposed to have knowledge of their existence. So what's inside, Mr. Edgeworth? Right now, nothing. We only use them to store especially important evidence when a trial's in session. That's it? Talk about squashing my hopes and dreams. I won't rest until I've inspected every suspicious-looking cranny. The keypad. Now this is odd. You found something, sir? This keypad, don't you find it a bit too clean? Yeah, there's a thick layer of dust all around it, but not on the keypad itself. You there, forensic scientist. Yes, sir. Could you please dust this area for fingerprints? You got it, sir. I couldn't find, let alone lift a single print. Looks like it was wiped down well. As I thought. It appears that logic is the only way around this setback. Time to rationally and calmly connect the dots with the information we have. Okay. Oops, wrong button. Killer's girl. I believe I have figured out what the murderer was after. Well, what was it, sir? The fact that the safe was wiped clean of fingerprints suggests that the criminal had at least attempted to open my safe, making the culprit's motive for breaking and entering theft, I believe. I wonder if knowing that oh, I had to read the whole line first to understand it. I wonder if knowing that the motive behind this break-in was theft changes what the other piece of information can tell me about this crime. There is a possibility that the files splayed on the floor are not the result of a struggle between the victim and his killer. Oh, you mean like it could be from when the killer tried to find something, sir? Precisely. We need to figure out if any of the files have been stolen. Yes, sir, I'm gonna steal files like you've never seen before, even if I'm arguing. Sure, let's give that a try. What was his words again? Why do all the good ones die young? Surely you must ponder that every once in a while, Mr. Edgeworth. No matter how much we lament, the dead will not come back to life. All we can do is search for the truth. And so what are we supposed to do? How do we go about finding this truth? First, we calmly restore the files to their rightful place. You got it! Here, let me help! So this file goes here, and that book goes there. You'll know a lot about where things go, despite it being Mr. Edgeworth's office. Because I'm not gonna keep it tidy, pal, okay? Done. It would appear that the murder was definitely committed here. Ugh. Blood stains on the bookshelf are still fresh. I suspect that the victim was killed in a standing position, hence the prints on the shelf. And then the guy fell to the floor, right? The blood on the floor was kind of grossing me out. Detective, I don't have the time to deal with your weak stomach right now. But you know I'm not good with blood, sir. I'm certain there's something wrong with this picture. So this is where the bullet lost itself after it went for the victim, huh? The bullet to be lodged so squarely in the file spine indicates that the files were ransacked after the shooting had occurred. And I guess the victim was moved because he was in the killer's way. What? Is this spot somehow connected to any of the evidence I hold? There is clearly a contradiction here with this bullet hole. What do you mean, sir? You don't see. Quite simply, the bullet hole itself is too low. If the victim was shot in the stomach, the hole should be much higher up. What if the guy was shot while he was sitting or lying down, sir? That would be illogical. The victim leaned against the shelf here after being shot, which suggests that he was standing when he was shot. Then that means... Wait, what does that mean, sir? It means you need to use your brain every once in a while instead of mine, detective. In any case, it means someone made a faulty assumption. And it was from this mistake that our current contradiction was born. What is the faulty assumption that caused this problem with the bullet hole's position? I believe the order of the files is a bit off. You mean I put them back in the wrong order just now? Hey, actually, I think the labels on the files are wrong, sir. Oh? Yeah, you see here how the files that were shut begin with the number 0? What are these doing all the way down here, there after 1, 2, and 3? That's really weird. Actually, the way they are organised now is the correct order. They are exactly as I see them in my mind's eye. But the numbers are all out of order. Those white bandages are special, so they are arranged differently. But from this, we know that the files were not in the order when the crime occurred. Aha, so that's it. I believe the killer made the same incorrect assumption as you just did, detective. Let's rearrange the files in numerical order and see what we find out. Do you think it's okay to prop the body back up to how it was moved? That was before it was moved. They finished processing the crime scene, so I don't see why it wouldn't be. If you please, Detective Gumshoe. As I suspected, the bullet hole is now where it should logically be. The killer went through my files first before shooting Mr. Faith, and then put the files back in numerical order, I guess. Oh shit, that's not him. And then put the files back in order, I guess. Exactly, and then proceeded to shoot the victim. Why would someone kill a man and then look through the files one more time? Puzzling indeed. The files were thrown into disarray twice, once before and once after the crime. Why? Now the crime scene is as it was at the time of the murder. Time to give it another look. This. What is that? Why does it say Gumshoe on there in blood? I'd say that's some incredibly incriminating evidence. Yes, indicative of criminal activity indeed. No, wait, there's gotta be some mistake. Mr. Edgeworth, sir, help me, see something, sir. It appears that one of my files was stolen. Is that all, sir? What about me and my situation? Is this what the killer was really after? Looks like Jim was able to leave us the name of his killer in the end. And the most important message managed to reach us. I'm telling you, it wasn't me. You can't be terribly pleased to hear that your beloved partner is the guilty party. If you're going to accuse Detective Gumshoe of being the culprit, I sincerely hope you have some proof to back it up. Jim's words, they're more than enough, wouldn't you say? If that's how you want to play it, then at least allow me to understand your reasoning. You got it. I don't like this one bit. Something strange about this man's attitude. And there must be some sort of flaw to his logic waiting for me to dig out. Mr. Edgeworth, what are you going to do? What I always do in court, I'm going to cross-examine him. One way or another, I'll expose the flaw in his logic with this technique. Oh, how did you do that? Can you explain it to me, sir? No. Mr. Portsman, if you're ready. Oh, if you don't have time, you could just say so, sir. Detective Gumshoe, you stole Jim's gun from him and shot him dead. Furthermore, you messed up with the files to make it look like you had committed theft instead. That's when you moved Jim's body that was sitting in front of the bookshelf. But thanks to that, you didn't notice the bloody letters his body was hiding. And it would be by his final words that you will be brought to justice. You intend to argue that the victim's dying message points to his killer? I can hear Jim's voice and he's calling for the killer's arrest. Are you sure you're not mishearing his words, Mr. Portsman? There is no way Detective Gumshoe is the culprit here. I will find the flaw in this man's logic and expose it with credible evidence. Incredible evidence. You stole Jim's gun and shot him dead. Further, you've messed up the files to make it look like you'd committed theft instead. That's when you moved Jim's body that was sitting in front of the bookshelf. Thanks to that, you didn't notice the bloody letters his body was hiding in. It will be by his final words that you will be brought to justice. Actually, there's a gigantic flaw in his logic, a gap so wide that even the good detective can spot it. Now to clue Mr. Portsman in by presenting him with some evidence. I'm sure you stole the gun, shot him dead. Oh, I got it wrong. It's so giant, even the detectives can see it, but not me. Oops. I must object to your logic. Which part do you have an objection to? Yes, well. Stay cool, Mr. Edgeworth. You're not good when you're all flustered. The detective's right for a change. How did it come to this? Calm down, Miles. Listen carefully and think everything through a bit more rationally.
Objection!
I was kind of stupid to miss that. Perhaps you're not aware, Mr. Portsman, but there's a serious flaw in your logic. Heh, bringing a bit of the courtroom into this, I see. No problem, I'm game. I can't help but find it as odd. Excuse me? Odd that a fellow prosecutor would be brought down by the power of his own office. What are you talking about? Oh, you're joking, I get it. Haha. If you have the time to laugh, then you have the time to take another closer look at this. Do you still not see? If not, may I direct your attention to the missing file? What? That's impossible! What's impossible, Mr. Portsman? Nothing. Files on that shelf are all about a certain case. When the killer went to take the file after murdering your partner, I highly doubt that they could have missed the bloody writing written on the spines. It's possible that they could have taken a file before committing the murder. I think it's pretty obvious that the file was stolen after it was written on. The missing letters in the detective's names where the file should be is proof. Yeah, I mean, the S is gone and there's only half an H. If Detective Gumshoe really was the culprit of this case, I highly doubt that even he could overlook his own name written in blood on the files. Especially as a detective who can't stand the sight of blood. Which means what exactly? What does that mean? Make the dying message. It makes it a work of a criminal intent on tampering with the crime scene. That's so low, I can't believe the criminal tried to bring this whole thing with me, sir. I'm gonna get him, sir. You'll see, I'm gonna have them under arrest in no time. Well, Mr. Portsman. Brilliant! Absolutely splendid! Logic deserving of Olympic gold. I appreciate the praise, but it doesn't change the fact that your reasoning is flawed. You win some and you lose some. That's how life goes. God, everyone's so cheery, even though I feel a bit more dead than alive. But you know, it really is a shame. I really didn't want to have to bring this up, however. What is it this time? Are you still after me, pal? Humor me for a second. Who has the key to this office? That would have been me. But Mr. Edgeworth does prove that I'm innocent, pal. That's absolutely right. I acknowledge your innocence. And why do I sense that she still has something to say? Because he's doing all these weird poses. Well, I was thinking, did you know that there is another person with a key to this office? One other person? Hey, you there! Yes, sir. What is it, sir? Would you kindly fetch and escort the lovely young lady here for me? A lady? Go as a member of this building's security. Think of her as a material witness. Security? Did you say security? No, stop it, pal. Don't! What's wrong with him all of a sudden? I believe she needs no introduction. I believe she needs no introduction. I have called upon Miss Maggie Bird, a member of security. Detective Gumshoe, sir. Maggie. Miss Bird is a security guard who watched me. I see. And your point is? The point is that she could very well have used it. And by it, I mean the master key which can open all the office doors in this building. What? What? You were at the guilty party, Mr. Gumshoe. Detective Gumshoe, then the only other person with access to this room is Miss Bird. How dare you? I would never sneak into someone's room. That's right, I refuse to believe that Maggie's the culprit, pal. It was me, that's right, I did it. Can you take that as a confession, Detective? Well, it wasn't really me, but it definitely wasn't Maggie, pal. So yeah, it was me. If it was, you'd have no problem with that, right? Please refrain from flying off the handle, Detective. There's no need for such theatrics. Listen to your boss, Detective. He understands what I'm saying here. That girl's the only one who could have committed the crime. And for one simple reason. It's pretty obvious that Miss Bird snuck into your room using the master key. I mean, if Detective Gumshoe isn't the one who opened the door, then that leaves only Miss Bird as our prime suspect. On top of which, she knows our good detective, doesn't she? Making it all the more probable that she was the one who faked the dying message. So, you're saying she used that master key? Incredibly incriminating evidence, wouldn't you say? That's what you claimed about the evidence earlier as well. That was then, this is now. The flow of a good match always changes during a rally. It's all about your reflexes and reaction time, especially for an athlete like me. I wonder if there was anybody else, other than Miss Bird, who could have used the master key. It seems that the only way to get Mr. Portsman to give me more details is to press him. Go, whoop, press him. Oops, what have I done?
Hold it!
Don't you think it's a bit early to be jumping to conclusions? Are you trying to say there's another way to open the door other than with the master key? Oh, I get it. Perhaps she had a spare made for someone else. I'll have you know that I never make a spare. So what are you insinuating? Just guess I should have known better than to suggest like someone like you would. Mr. Edgeworth, what are you waiting for? Hurry up and present some evidence. I would love to. But first, we should listen a bit more and digest what he's saying. And press him for more information.
Hold it!
Are you sure Miss Bird is the only member of security who could have used the master key? There's only one person on staff this time of night, and tonight she's it. Isn't that right, Miss Bird? It's, true, but I wasn't able to use the master key at the time of the crime, sir. Wasn't able to? What's that supposed to mean? Yes. Moving on, I'd hate to get sidetracked by something unrelated. What do you mean unrelated? I want to hear what she has to say, pal. But you can't really trust her to not tell lies, plus I hate wasting time. Shall I hear Miss Bird out? Yes. Not so fast, I too am interested in hearing what Miss Bird has to say. Didn't I just say it'd be a waste of time? We don't need her to hear our lies. I'll be the judge of that. Miss Bird, if you please. I discovered that the master key was missing at around 1 AM, sir. What do you mean by missing? I mean, it was gone. It was missing. I said it wasn't anywhere in the security booth, sir. The killer must have stolen it. Mr. Portsman, I believe this is an important piece of testimony, don't you? I can't believe that someone like you would be taken in by such words. I'm not lying, sir.
Objection!
If that's the case, then I'd like to know why didn't you have the master key now? I don't quite know. It just reappeared all of a sudden, sir. Likely story. Where is your proof that the key was stolen to begin with? I bet you just forgot where you put it and then found it again. I never lose things, I can practically guarantee that. With me, if something disappears, it's usually because someone stole it. Yeah, pal, trust me, you don't want to test just how bad her luck is. Unfortunately, I can't deem this piece of testimony as conclusive. Glad you agree, Mr. Edgeworth. But, you still haven't established Maggie's motive for breaking into Mr. Edgeworth's office. Motive? Didn't we already establish that it was theft? I mean, the culprit clearly went through the bookshelves and tried to, and at least tried the safe. It is as Mr. Portsman says, Detective. You can't ignore the fact that all the evidence points towards a motive for theft. But I'm done taking blows. It's time to counterattack with a few facts of my own.
Objection!
You wish to continue insisting that Miss Bird was set on stealing something? Why not? It's the truth after all. It was also by your logic that we came to this whole thievery conclusion anyway. That may be, but you must also be aware of the fact that the safe is a secret safe, the existence of which is only privy to prosecutors. Ah! I find it a little hard to believe that a hidden safe was part of her cunning plan. But she could have found it by accident while she was turning everything upside down. I highly doubt that. I'd say the culprit knew exactly what they were looking for. After all, only the bookshelf and the safe were targeted. Yeah, even I didn't know about the safe, pal. And that means there's no way Maggie could have known about it either. Then are you proposing that the killer is a prosecutor? Interesting conclusion. That's definitely looking more and more probable. What's wrong, prosecutor? Do you have a different suspect in mind now? Curses! Why? What made you... What's with the angry face all of a sudden? It's all my fault! What do you mean? It's Jim! He knew about the existence of a secret safe. What did you just say? We were partners, like inseparable conjoined twins. That's why I told him. I filled him in on the secret safes. Then that means... Yeah, I know. I had only just told him too. Obviously, he was wrong on me to tell him. I still can't believe it. But the thief who broke into your room was probably Jim. Now he's claiming that the victim was the thief. And you were simply trying to stop him, weren't you? Miss Maggie Bird. Excuse me? I mean, you are a security guard, right? That's your job. But killing is going a bit too far, even in your risky profession. What the? You're still accusing Maggie of the murder? Yes and no. I mean, she stumbled upon Jim, who probably drawn his gun. I get it. It was self-defense, wasn't it? No, I couldn't. I could never do something like that. Not even as a security guard, sir. Plus, even if he was the thief, he wouldn't have a key to the office. Which is precisely why he had to steal it, wouldn't you say? It was Jim who stole the master key. Ah. Pretty impossible for a supposedly stolen key to be here with us unless you retrieved it from Jim after you killed him. Mr. Portsman, are you honestly accusing your own partner of being a thief? I don't want to admit it, it's the only way for everything else to make sense. I see no honor. Dishonor to your family. Now then, I think we're done here. The investigation waits for no man. Would you people be so kind to see yourselves out? You can't kick us out. This is Mr. Edgeworth's office. Ah, but I'm the one who's been assigned to this case. You are all suspects to varying degrees and therefore ineligible to run the show. Listen, pal, how many times do I have to see this? Maggie can't be the culprit. Take the gumshoe, calm yourself. But sir... You have no choice but to accommodate his request, for now. Haha, thank you, Mr. Edgeworth. At least one of you understands. Now then, if you can remove yourselves from the crime scene, I'd be most grateful. Mark my words, Mr. Portsman, we will meet again. If that's a formal request from the legendary prosecutor himself, then I suppose so. Now, don't disappoint me, you hear?